The government has an ambition to transform India into a $7 trillion economy by 2030, and infrastructure sector spending will be a very important driver to achieve this transformation. Ideally, infrastructure spending for the year should increase as a multiple of the projected GDP percentage growth for that year. Infrastructure spending is a major growth driver for the Indian economy, and every rupee spent on infrastructure generates over 2.5 rupees in GDP, considering the employment created and the downstream demand for products and services. The government has an ambition to transform India into a $7 trillion economy by 2030, and infrastructure sector spending will be a very important driver to achieve this transformation. Ideally, infrastructure spending for the year should increase as a multiple of the projected GDP percentage growth for that year. In terms of priorities, the government should continue its push on airport capacity increases and modernization, augmenting the road network and improving speed and safety on the existing road network, upgradation of capacity, safety and technology at railways, and expansion of the ports and logistics infrastructure. Well-developed transport infrastructure and logistics infrastructure will improve India's productivity and make India more competitive in producing goods for exports. Industrial parks or manufacturing zones with developed infrastructure close to major infrastructure facilities like ports, highways or airports can also help stimulate manufacturing at scale and create large-scale employment. The country has ambitious renewable energy plans, and these will need appropriate investments in transmission and distribution infrastructure. Given the intermittent nature of renewables, any investments here will need to be supplemented with appropriate storage capacity to manage round-the-clock loads. Offshore wind and coastal shipping are also sectors that have large potential in India given the length of the Indian coastline. The government should also consider policy changes to stimulate investments in circular economy sectors, including compressed biogas, hydrogen, water, and waste. It would be important to look at steps to revive PPE in sectors like roads on a build, operate, transfer basis, and also to attract PPP in sectors like rail and water, and to bring in more predictability in regulations, including tax regulations. This will attract more private investments and reduce the strain on government spending and execution. The government would also need to consider how to make newer infrastructure development green and how to offset the emissions from existing infrastructure projects to contribute to the country's goal of being net zero by 2070. Infrastructure spending will remain a key development catalyst for India and its very exciting journey ahead.